Shalom, this is Levi Shaar. Welcome back to Sweet Good Torah. So today we're going to talk about incredible Parsha Pinchas. We're going to talk about an incredible, miraculous person, Pinchas ben Elazar. And he just is so mystical and incredible, is the ultimate zealot. And he does something that would be so rare in this age that people would be shocked. And it was probably even shocking back then when he did it. So first we got to go back a little bit to Parsha Balak. So Balak, who was the king of Moab, he hires Bilam, who was a sorcerer, and Balak was also a sorcerer, and they had this evil plan to curse the Jewish people, that Hashem would destroy the Jewish people. Or the Jewish people would be destroyed through their curses, and they even brought offerings to Hashem. And it didn't work. And Hashem turned it all around, and instead of being able to curse the Jewish people, Hashem put blessings and nevuah into the mouth of Bilam. So then Bilam came up with an evil plan, because he wanted to charge Balak so much gold and silver and jewels, because he was so greedy. And Bilam just wanted riches for himself and fame, and he was just an evil man that wanted to destroy the Jewish people, and it didn't work, but he came up with an evil plan. He says, if you can get the Jewish people to engage in physical immorality, if they can have illicit relationships, Hashem hates that. Hashem will destroy them. Let Hashem do the work for you. And the Midyanim and the Moabim, they came up with this evil plan, and they even used their own daughters. And King Balak, he used his own daughter, Cozbi. Now, names have real significance, but it's real funny now, like when you start looking about physical immorality, the name Cozbi is now associated with physical immorality. But this Cozbi, this meant something else, this princess, but he was willing to use his own daughter, the princess, as a zona, as a harlot, to seduce the Jewish people. And the plan was that Princess Cozbi would seduce Moshe Rabbeinu, Chas v'Shalom, Moses himself. But they seduced the wrong people. And I think the Midrash says that they sat in these marketplaces, and they wore pretty clothes and pretty perfume and pretty cosmetics, and they tried to seduce, the men of Israel. And then Princess Cozbi went up to the Nasi, the prince of the tribe of Shimon, of Zimri, ben Salu. And like 58,000 men from the tribe of Shimon stood up before him, and she thought, that must be Moshe Rabbeinu. This is a prince, this is the leader. And she seduced Zimri. And they went back into the camp, the holy camp of the Jewish people, and they were having illicit relationships, I think, right in the doorway of the Okal Moed, right in the doorway of the Mishkan, where the presence of Hashem lives. And it was a horrible tragedy. And Pinchas was this zealot. He was zealous for Hashem. And he immediately reacted. He asked Moshe the halakha. He says, a zealot can take care of this. And he grabbed a spear. And as they were in the middle of this illicit relationship in public, he drove a spear through both of them. It's harsh. It's crazy, right? What would the news say nowadays? If there was one of these immorality festivals, if it was someone in Las Vegas, we are very casual and laid back about immorality in today's world. It's everywhere. If you look at the TV shows and the movies, how they started, like Leave It to Beaver and and the Brady Bunch even though that was getting a little more, and compare it to what's now, it's just shows about, occultism and Satanism, just crazy. Everything's like magic, occult. And if it's not that, it's these soap operas of just massive promiscuity and immorality, and it's just all accepted nowadays. Las Vegas, all around the world. Just like the whole world almost has become a red light district. And the internet is just so easy, it's everywhere. And we're just so engulfed in it everywhere. And do we have someone that would even stand up against it? B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to have Mashiach soon that's going to lead us to stop this, stand up against it. People are so proud. They're proud of the immorality. They have festivals, parties, parades for the immorality, and no one says a word. And then the media says, no, how dare you? How dare you? You want to criticize the immorality? No, we're holy, we're pure, we're good. You're evil. You say you're against Avera, you're against sin? You're evil. How dare you? How dare you tell someone how to live their life? How dare you say something's right or wrong? How dare you? But how many marriages have been destroyed? How many relationships, breakups? How much of this influx, of this constant immorality that we see, and hopefully we can just stop and turn our eyes away from it all. But how much are we being exposed to through even newspapers, everything now, radio? I mean, the things they talk about on radio, it's mind-blowing compared to what they used to. The standards, there used to be TV standards, radio standards. There's no standards anymore. There's nothing. But Pinchas stopped this plague, which was probably an STD, because the 24,000 men from the tribe of Shimon who engaged in this immorality and in this avodah zarah, and they were told to worship the Baal Peor, and they worshipped it in the most despicable way by pooping in front of it. And, they think it's funny. I'll poop in front of your idol, but that was the way you worship it. And what does it mean? It means just let it all go. The free love, the whole thing, the Sin City Vegas. It's just letting it all go. Letting it all go. No standards, no good and evil, no nothing. And that's the world right now. In some ways, it's horrible. Everyone's just letting it all go and don't say anything about anyone else. And everyone has a right to live their life. But Hashem hates this, and it's not good for us. What's good is the kedusha, the holy kedushin of a marriage, of a man and a woman, in a holy marriage, having children, bringing down the shamos, these holy souls, raising a family with tahara, purity, and kindness and goodness. But but the media is awash with the opposite. Oh, the immorality is good, they tell us. Pinchas stopped it in a drastic way, where people would be shocked if someone did this today. And I don't know if you could do this today. They would kill you. And they wanted to kill Pinchas, and the tribe of Shimon wanted to kill Pinchas, and Hashem saved them. And then Hashem said to Pinchas, for stopping this immorality, for stopping the plague where 24,000 men died, I will give him a Brit Shalom. And what does that mean? Pinchas eventually became the Kohen Gadol, and his children became the Kohen, the Kohen Gadol, and his descendants. But there's something even more mysterious and mystical about Pinchas. We know through the Zohar and the Arizal's book, Shaar, HaGilgulim, that Pinchas is also Eliyahu HaNavi. He's also Elijah the prophet. He never died, or if he died, he came back as a Gilgul in another life as Eliyahu HaNavi. But it seems like maybe he never died. He's one of the few. I think there's 7 people. I just heard Rabbi Eitan Feiner talking about this year today. There's 7 people I think that never died. There was Enoch, 365 years went right into Shemayim. There was Eliezer, the Eved of Abraham, Eliezer, the servant of Abraham, many others that just merited to go right into Gan Eden, right into the spiritual world, no death. And Pinchas merited that by fighting against the immorality. And not only that, he merited a covenant of peace with Hashem. Hashem says, you fight against the immorality, you create peace in the world. Amazing, huh? And something even more mystical and incredible, Eliyahu HaNavi, Elijah the prophet, the one who comes to every bris, the one who comes to every Seder, even if we can't see him, even if our eyes are not at the spiritual level right now where we can see, but he's there. And he and Hashem will send him to anoint Mashiach, to anoint the king, and begin it all. Begin the Yemotza Mashiach and bringing the world, Tikkun Ha'olam, B'malchus Shaddai, and fixing the world and bringing the world back to balance and family and good and shalom and peace. And it all started with Pinchas, the zealot, who did something outrageous. It would be outrageous by anyone's standards. Today, they would write newspaper articles about this crazy man. Look what this crazy man did with this spear. But he did so much goodness in the spiritual world by fighting against this bad. And he merited so much. And Hashem's telling us how much. So we can do it our own way. I'm not telling anyone to pick up a spear, Has v'Shalom. But we can fight against it by being good, by being kind to each other, but developing Gevurah to not do what we shouldn't do. Have a little Gevurah. We don't have to watch everything on Netflix. Some things that are really not good. And if we can at least turn it down a little bit, turn down a little bit of the social media, turn down a little of looking away at things we're not supposed to look at. And look at good things. Look at good things. Look at our family. Look at our friends. Look at loved ones. Look at the beauty of the world. There's good things to look at. And at very least, we can just start to turn away looking from the bad. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you back again soon on Sweet Good Torah.